Hi there, Saba. I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And you're one of my online students. And you're also paid to have the additional service, the diagnostic corrective feedback service offered for Speak Clearly lessons 7 through 24 and 26 through 47. And today, actually 3 days ago, and I apologize that I have not listened to your recordings earlier, VoxyPop was having some trouble. And I actually couldn't access it for a couple of days. But you did lesson number 9, exercise 1 and 2, and you're working on the diphthongs, the I, ow, and oi. So to kind of get warmed up, I want you to go ahead and repeat these words after me. You ready? Bright, brown, broil, lie, loud, loyal, pie, pound, poise, dyed, douse, doily, night, now, annoy, time, town, toy, sign, sow, soil, rye, round, roy, gripe, ground, groin, sight, sound, and soy. And you recorded, it looks like, 2 exercises, and I'm going to listen to them right now. So I'm going to the sentence and the paragraph readings of this particular lesson. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's see what we have. I think this is, okay, here we go. So we have 5 sentences.
By the service that might not destroy the a clairvoyant person might allow one to employ another so as to provide a service that might not destroy the confidence of the client.
Okay, I think the I, provide, might. You want to make that a little bit longer. It's the I, E together. Might, provide, might.
2. Politeness comes down to who exploits the power in order to identify what points are made in order to respect another.
Okay, let's read this one together. Politeness comes down to who exploits the power in order to identify what points are made in order to respect another.
3. The foil and soil brought into the house is described as being silver and brown in color.
Foil, soil.
4. In the South, there are countless trials in which the defendants are finally found guilty because they have violated the rights of another.
Pretty good pausing on that. I liked how you paused before guilty. So in the South, there are countless trials in which the defendants are finally found guilty because they have violated the rights of another.
5. The drought brought violence on a town because some made private and lawful choices, which
you want to say unlawful.
accounted for about between John and Steve.
Try that one more time. The drought brought violence on a town because some made private unlawful choices, which accounted for a bout between John and Steve. I think you could even put a comma here, or say private and unlawful choices, or private unlawful choices. It's probably awkward to put the comma after private and after choices, so they maybe just put the connector there. So made some private and unlawful choices, which accounted for a bout between John and Steve. Okay, now you're going to get into the paragraph reading, if I remember correctly. Okay, here we go.
Until 1962, it was thought that Mercury's day might have the same length as its year, so as to keep that same face to the sun, much as the moon does to the earth.
Good pausing. Now, the one thing I'd like you to do, you'll learn more about this when you get to intonation, and this is probably going to take some time, but you want to work on varying your tone, right? So you're kind of speaking in more of a monotone, but follow this. Until 1962, it was thought that Mercury might have the same length as its year, so as to keep that same face to the sun, much as the moon does to the earth. So there's kind of some highs and lows in there.
But this account was shown to be false in 1965 by Doppler radar observations. It's now known that Mercury rotates thrice in 2 of its years. Mercury is the only body in the solar system found to have an orbital rotational resonance with a ratio other than 1:1.
You're getting better with the R sound. So I do want you to go over a couple of things here. Where is it? It is now known that Mercury rotates thrice in 2 of its years. Rotates. Let's practice the R sounds in here. We have Doppler radar observations, rotates, rotational resonance, ratio.
When preparing.
So overall, I think that you're doing a pretty good job on your pronunciation of these 3 sounds. The one that I'd like you to work on a little bit more is the I, bright, 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 tight, night, might.
For an exam, I prefer to study better. When preparing.
Okay, so you're going to speaking lesson or speaking question number 32. Let me take a look at that one just quickly. So what is better when preparing for an exam, studying alone or studying with a group? So you say,
when preparing for an exam, I prefer to study with a group rather than alone because this helps me focus more and understand better.
There. So now you got 2 key points. You can focus more and understand better.
Because I can be easily distracted, I prefer to study with a group and pay full attention, so I don't have to think about cleaning the house, preparing meal for my family, or even answering and making phone calls. Second,
good grammar, answering and making phone calls.
Studying with a group will enable me to share ideas. I remember one day I had
Now let's go back to the beginning. I'm not sure that there's a good connection here.
When preparing for an exam, I prefer to study with a group rather than alone because this helps me focus more and understand better.
Okay, so you can focus more and you can understand better.
Because I can be easily distracted, I prefer to study with a group and pay full attention, so I don't have to think about cleaning the house, preparing meal for my family, or even answering and making phone calls. Secondly,
now still though, you have this idea, so you like studying, you can be easily distracted, so you like studying with a group, but you still need to make the connection about focusing or concentrating better on your studies if you study with a group. So I think your first idea, you didn't fully connect it back to that first point in your topic statement.
Studying with a group will enable me to share ideas. I remember.
Now it'll enable you to share ideas, but how does this relate to understand better? So again, you want to have a better connection between what you do in the body of the speech and how that connects back to your topic statement.
One day I had an anatomy test, and I had difficulty memorizing all the names. So one of my friends,
You want to say difficulty remembering all the names.
came up with an idea to make acronyms, which really helped us a lot to memorize all the names, and that's why I feel this way.
And because of that, I felt I could understand better the information I was trying to learn because I was studying in the group. So again, I think your two ideas in the body of the speech, they did not connect very well to the topic statement in the beginning of the speech. So I think you'll probably lose some points with your topic development and organization on this one. Okay, let's take a look at the rubrics here just quickly. Okay, I'm going to click on the link. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's take a look at the low threes. It's a good speech. I think here, sometimes relationships between your ideas are not immediately clear. You remember how you said in the beginning, focus and understand, but then what you did in the body of the speech didn't directly connect back to that, so you'll probably lose some points because of that. Overall, I think you had very good vocabulary and good grammar. You didn't have too many difficulties with your pronunciation here. So I'm going to put you at 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. To help you get a little more organized, go to speaking lesson number 7, and particularly there's one tip in there. It talks about what's called repetition and rephrasing of key terms. Go over that part of the lesson and then think about how you could have applied that to this particular practice test. All right, anyway, thank you very much. So I've just given you some feedback on 2 pronunciation exercises and 1 speaking practice test.